going to visit Kyoto, Japan for a trip back in time. It's a city where three powerful figures still loom large: the emperor, the shogun, and the steam locomotive.
It's been called the heart and soul of Japan. This is Kyoto, city of 1,000 temples and shrines and home to the elusive geisha. Most visitors enter this ancient city at a very modern place, Kyoto Station, built in 1997. Since the city has no airport, tourists often take Japan Airlines to Tokyo and complete the trip by rail, a fast 2.5 hours by Shinkansen bullet train. Nearly 1 million people pass through Kyoto Station every day for both travel and entertainment. Not bad in a city with a population of just 1.5 million. From Kyoto Station, local trains and buses fan out across a city that, at first glance, appears to be a very modern metropolis. This is, after all, the home of Nintendo. But here, in the city center, is the calm oasis of the Heian Shrine and Garden, built to honor Kyoto's 1,000-year reign as home to the imperial family. Although the capital moved to Tokyo in 1869, Kyoto has remained the cultural heart of Japan, preserving its long history and traditions. The Heian Shrine is one of 400 Shinto shrines in the city, and here in the ancient garden is another treasure from the past, Japan's oldest rail car, built in 1894. Evidence of rail travel as a part of Japan's proud heritage is not only seen in Kyoto, it's made loud and clear on a daily basis. 3 times a day, this steam locomotive makes its way through a small park south of downtown. It's one of several on display at the Umakoji Steam Locomotive Museum, housed in the oldest wooden train depot in Japan, the former Niho train station, built in 1905 and moved here in 1997. Inside are exhibits on the history and operation of steam locomotives in Japan. The museum was opened in 1972 to mark the 100th anniversary of Japan's rail system. But the real treasures are the classic locomotives kept in the roundhouse built here in 1914. The turntable is used to rotate the massive engines for easy storage. Japan's rail system got its start back in 1872 using trains from Europe and the US. But by 1912, they were building their own, and all 18 models here are Japanese-made. The maintenance area within the roundhouse continues to service the trains, keeping 7 operational. It's one of the things that makes this museum unique.
There are a number of transport museums in Japan, but this is the only one that keeps this many locomotives in working order.
School children are a common sight at the museum, but older folks are also here, with vivid memories of riding on passenger trains like this one, the 1948 C62, one of 49 super-large locomotives used on express lines. Another popular model, the C57 No. 1, is called the Lady for her elegant style. She's often on loan working the scenic Yamaguchi Go steam train, but here at the museum she's also remembered for her first job, carrying the Emperor's train. The D51 model was the first standardized modern engine in Japan. 1,100 of these were built between 1936 and 1945. It was built to haul freight, but today passengers can climb aboard for a ride through a nearby park. It's a trip back in time in a city with 1,000 years of history to explore. Just beyond the museum stands the landmark Toji Temple. Its 5-story pagoda is the tallest in Japan at 180 feet. There are 1,600 Buddhist temples in Kyoto, and one of the most extensive is Kiyomizu. Its main hall has a large veranda overlooking the city center. Below the temple is a popular shopping street full of Kyoto craft items, from kimono fabrics and porcelain dolls to ceramic tea bowls and Japanese fans. Just north of downtown is one of the most famous sights in all of Japan, the Golden Pavilion, a 3-story temple covered in gold leaf. Built in 1397 by a shogun as a symbol of his power and faith, the site was destroyed by fire in 1950. 5 years later, this full reconstruction was completed. Kyoto's famous sites are easily reached by a local rail system that's clean, efficient, and easy to use. One of the most popular rail lines ends in the hills at Aragishama, where nature lovers embark for a hike through the famous bamboo forest. But recently, the train station itself became popular by adding a perk to its platform, a hot springs foot bath complete with towel service. For 150 yen, you can buy a towel, soak your feet, and watch the trains go by. As night falls in the ancient neighborhood of Gion, the elusive geishas hurry to the tea houses to begin their evening's work. Trained in the arts of dance, music, and ceremonial tea, geishas begin their careers as apprentices called maiko, distinguished by their heavy white makeup. Tourists linger on the cobblestone streets, hoping to see them. Back at the Umakoji Museum, the D51 has completed its final run of the day, and fans linger to watch the locomotive take one more turn in grand style.
Train travel has long been an important part of our culture. Many come here to share their memories with children, and hopefully they in turn will come, keeping this history alive.
In a city dedicated to preserving Japanese culture and its beauty, the Umakoji Steam Locomotive Museum is proudly and loudly doing its part.